So now let's proceed with the next part of the webinar. We have here Mr. Gulfam Hussain as the second speaker. So before Mr. Gulfam starts his presentation, I will read his bio. Mr. Gulfam Hussain is a gold medalist and Master of Philosophy and Linguistics from Air University Islamabad. Currently, he is pursuing his PhD degree in linguistics also at Air University Islamabad. His research interests are corpus-based genre analysis, lexical bundles, and corpus linguistics. So Mr. Gulfam Hussain's presentation topic today is From Theory to Practice, Exploring Lexical Bundles in Science Textbooks with Corpus Linguistic Tools. Without further ado, I'd like to invite Mr. Gulfam to proceed with his presentation. Please welcome.
Thank you so much for the nice introduction and for your kind words. A very good afternoon to all of you. I know it's afternoon and it's Ramadan, so I will try to keep my presentation brief and clear. So let me share my screen. Is it visible?
Yes, good to go.
Okay, okay, thank you. Okay, so this is my master study that I am presenting here and sharing. It's about lexical bundles in science textbooks. So the study is already published in Gamma Online Journal of Language Studies. So before moving on presentation, so I want to say something about the importance of bundles. That so far as we see most of the study in language, when we see language teaching and learning, so most of the time we see vocabulary learning, list of vocabulary and relevant words. So lexical bundles are beyond that. So lexical bundles or string of words, multi-word units, they have particular structure and functions. So why not, instead of word, we should go for bundles. So there are some key terms related to my presentation. The first one is corpus-based. When we apply corpus linguistics as a methodology, so we can treat it in a different way, like corpus-based, corpus-driven, and corpus-assisted studies. So when we say corpus-assisted, it means we use corpus methodology as a tool in order to facilitate us to achieve our objectives or to answer particular research questions. And when we say corpus-based, so corpus-based, it is based on pre-existing theory. We select particular theory. On the other hand, then we go for data. So corpus-based studies are to back theory, confirm theory, and test theory, to approve or disapprove theories or inform theories. So such studies are conducted, which are corpus-based, for modification of theory, revising and refining theory, or checking relationship between a theory and data, or a theory and practice. So on the other hand, when we say corpus-driven, so in corpus-driven, we do not select any theory in advance. Rather, we immerse theory from the data or from the corpus-driven analysis. So my study is corpus-based. For corpus-based study, we construct specialized corpus that can be smaller in size, because it is used for particular research objectives or questions. Then there is a concept, lexical bundle, the key concept in my study. So lexical bundles were first explored and defined by Barber et al. 1999 as a bundle of words that show a statistical tendency to co-occur and recurrent expressions, regardless of their idiomaticity and regardless of their structural status. Lexical bundles are significant units in academic discourse. They are just like building blocks in academic discourse. They have been shown as specifically constituting frequent and significant building blocks in academic discourse. Lexical bundles, they occur frequently um, in academic discourse, and they are known as markers of proficiency in academic discourse due to their higher presence. So not only in academic discourse, lexical bundles occurs in any type of discourse that is spoken or written. So ideally, when we say lexical bundle, so one thing comes in in our mind that what they look like. So these are some of the examples of lexical bundles. Like on the other hand, at the end of, as a result to the fact that, so how lexical bundles are look like, they are few examples. In literature, when we see there are different terms that used for lexical bundles, more than 20 terms. So some of the common terms and commonly used I have listed here, like formolic sequences, lexical chunks, engrams, lexical phrases, multi-word expressions, and lexical bundles, prefabricated structures. So there are other words as well, like lexical phrases, or there are so many terms, but the key idea is that they all refer to lexical bundles. So when we say lexical bundle, there are some parameters so that qualify lexical bundle. For example, Barber et al. 1999 devised criteria for lexical bundles. The minimal cutoff frequency for 3-word lexical bundles is 10 times per million word. For example, if we have 1 million corpus and there are 10 occurrences of 3-word sequences, so we can call them bundles. The minimal cutoff frequency for 4-word lexical bundle is 5 times per million words, because as we increase the words of number in a bundle, so of course frequency decreases. And also some of the 3-word lexical bundles can be part of 4-word bundles as well. So the next criteria is occurring in more than a single text within a register in order to avoid the idiosyncrasies of the individual writer or speaker. So this is another parameter for a lexical bundle to qualify what a lexical bundle is. So it should be occurring in multiple texts, like 5 to 6 texts at least, in order to avoid the particular linguistic preferences or feature of a particular writer or speaker. So the third criteria is a kind of safeguarding in order to show the real registral feature of any text, because it is also possible that in any particular text, a particular writer may use certain expressions more as compared to others, or that might not be a feature of that register. So the third criteria is important for that, to safeguard that. So then my study, the data for my study, the corpus is built from textbooks. So textbooks are important in academic practices, of course. They they have valid and authentic, the authorized version of a society valid knowledge. And textbooks are used by both teachers and students. Thus, the use of textbooks play a vital and undeniable role to disseminate academic knowledge. So, of course, we have to deal with books, we read books, we comprehend books, and we take knowledge from textbooks. So they are important, they are core in academic practices. So when we say lexical bundles in textbooks, it means that those bundles that are implied in textbooks or occurring in textbooks, or we can say textbooks having different bundles. So my study was also looking at interdisciplinary variations in bundle. So when we say interdisciplinarity, it involves ideas or formation from different subjects area of study. Though my disciplines was science, like taking books from physics and chemistry, but still I wanted to know if there is any interdisciplinary variations as well. Interdisciplinarity refers to integrating knowledge and methods from different disciplines using a real synthesis of approaches and different branches of learning. Though science, in science, physics, and chemistry are not that much different from one another. However, I wanted to know that too. So when we say interdisciplinary variations, so what does we mean by that, especially in bundles, when we say, so this is, we can say discipline versus discipline, that what are the differences in different disciplines. So it is an act of instances of varying how much variations or their degree of diversity, change, derivation, and little differences. So when we say interdisciplinary variations in lexical bundles, so it means possibilities of variations in bundles in terms of forms, bundle types. It means one discipline may use different, more or less bundles than in others. So there can be differences in frequencies, occurrences, and bundle tokens. So these are key important concepts when we talk about corpus or corpus size or word, and same goes for lexical bundles as well. So when we say bundle tokens, it means all the bundles, or when we say words in a corpus, so it means all the words. When we say bundle type or word type, it means what particular type that can occur multiple times as well. For example, if we have a bundle, on the other hand, it is one type, but it can have hundreds of tokens. So then discourse function, same bundles with different function. It is also possible that the same bundle may function differently in different disciplines. So preferences of particular bundles, so it is also a possibility. Dominance of particular lexical bundles, or density or low or high. Frequency can also be there. So when we see variations in different disciplines, so we look at the different things. So these are some of the existing studies in literature, like the pioneer, the Biber, who is the pioneer in this field, exploring, studying lexical bundles, who introduced this and worked a lot on this, and then other researchers follow his work. So he studies recurrent sequences in academic and prose conversation. Then Biber et al. 2004, the use of lexical bundles in textbooks and classroom teaching. And the other studies like by Biber 2006, to know the differences in lexical bundles by discipline, genre, and register. So similarly, Stubbs and Baugh study physiological features that pattern specific discourse types in lexical bundle. So similarly, the next study is about physiological feature that patterns specific discourse type. And Allen 2017, comparing lexical bundles in 5 English language self-study textbook with English as a lingua franca. And Helland has also studied on bundles in master thesis and doctoral dissertations in research article. Then Cortes, lexical bundles in biology and history article. And Beard and Cox had established the list of 21 four-word lexical bundle utilized in science, arts, commerce, and law. And the last study is conducted in Pakistani context by Yusuf and Shehzad, prevalence of prefabricated structure in academic discourse. So these are some of the studies that are already existing. That there is a statement of problem. So lexical bundles are most significant units in academic discourse. They have been shown in specifically constituting frequent, significant building blocks in academic discourse. So we already know that they are very much important, they are frequent, they have particular structure, they have particular function, they help in composition and comprehension. Lexical bundles occur frequently in academic discourse and they are known as markers of proficiency in academic discourse. So bundles also shows proficiency when we make appropriate use of appropriate bundles according to particular genre or registers. So Pakistani students at higher secondary school level are not well aware of lexical bundles used in academic writing. They mostly rely on grammar rules. So this is also one of the reasons that at school level, so far, I have not seen any list of lexical bundles or phrases in English textbooks to be introduced to the students. So they lack analytical skills and adequate command of English language for academic purposes. Neither they are taught lexical bundle nor lexical bundles or part of their course. Very little attention has been paid to lexical bundle in Pakistani context, especially lexical bundles in academic textbooks. So comparatively, if we see student of us often struggle with English in relation to science. So they face difficulties in understanding different theoretical concepts, understand the text, to understand different scientific processes, or to get good knowledge of science. There are advantages to identify lexical bundles to better help learners acquire the specific rhetorical practices of their communities. If Pakistani students are introduced with a useful list of lexical bundles and exposed to learn the use of more frequent, fixed, and common phrases that are lexical bundle of a discipline, this can contribute to their understanding of discipline as well as improve their academic discourse. So when we already know that English is international language and it is also used as a lingua franca, so it is the language of research and education. It is also in the official language of Pakistan. So students need English and good English at any cost. So when it comes to science textbooks, students struggle with those books. So in order to address this issue, so lexical bundles can be one of the approach. For example, if we extract bundles with structures and functions from the books and we introduce them to the students, once they know the structure and functions, so they will be able to comprehend the text, to understand the textbooks, and to compose accordingly within the discipline. So these are the objectives of my study. The first objective is related uh, to investigate common lexical bundles occurring in Pakistani academic textbooks of physics and chemistry used at higher secondary school level. And the second objective is to explore the structural features and functional taxonomies of the lexical bundles found in these textbooks. And the third objective is to highlight the commonalities and differences in the use of common lexical bundles found in the Pakistani textbooks of physics and chemistry. So these are the same research questions. They are similar to objectives with the same sequence. So the delimitation of my study is that it includes Pakistani academic textbooks only, and in textbooks, those books which are used at higher secondary school level, that is college level, and textbooks are delimited to physics and chemistry textbooks, physics part 1 and 2 and chemistry part 1 and 2 of KIPI textbook board. So in all Pakistan, there are books published by provinces. So these books are from one of the province, from our province, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, KIPI textbook board. So they are used in our province. So lexical bundles only. My study is focusing on bundles only. In lexical bundles, common for word lexical bundles only. In interdisciplinary variation, it is delimited to two disciplines, physics and chemistry. In research methodology, have used corpus linguistics as a methodology. So research design is mix. When we say in corpus linguistic, when we say mixed method, it means it is both quantitative and qualitative. The quantitative aspect of it address frequencies, occurrences, especially deals with the frequencies, and the qualitative part has to do something beyond that, like studying context, the context, and with relation to particular discourse. The methodological framework has been taken from corpus linguistics, and the study of Biber et al. 2004 has been used as a theoretical framework. So Biber et al. 2004 studied lexical bundles in textbooks and university teaching, in textbooks and university teaching. So this study has structures and functional taxonomies revised by them. So I have used them as a theoretical framework. So in that theoretical framework, there are three main structural categories and subcategories. So the first category is lexical bundle that incorporate word fragments. So these are the categories that incorporate word fragments. So these are taken from that model, from that theoretical framework. And the second category is lexical bundles that incorporate dependent clause fragment. And it has these five categories, like if clause fragment, that clause fragment, and so on. And then lexical bundles that incorporate noun phrase and prepositional phrase fragment. So these are five categories having noun phrase and prepositional phrase fragments. In functional categories or in functional taxonomies, there are some categories like epistemic stance. Then we have modality, attitudinal stance, in which we have subcategories like desire, obligation or directive, intention, prediction, ability. And in functional taxonomies, then we have discourse organizer, in which we have topic introduction, focus, topic elaboration or clarification. And these are the examples from that theoretical framework. And in functional category, then we have referential expressions. They are used, they have different functions. So referential expressions have these subcategories like identification, focus, imprecision, specification of attributes, time, place, text, reference. So this is the third key category of the functional taxonomies of lexical bundles. And then the last category of the theoretical framework is special conversational functions like politeness, simple inquiry, or reporting. So when we talk about structures and functions, so of course, all structures and all functions may not occur in all types of discourse because it depends. Just like this category, special conversation function cannot be expected in science textbooks. Corpus design and compilation. So for this study, specialized corpus was built from the textbooks, comprised of 4 text files: chemistry part 1 and 2, physics part 1 and 2. So all there were 4 text files and 4 textbooks. So how the corpus was built? So by that time, unfortunately, those books were not available in PDF or in soft form. Then first of all, I scanned the book to make them digitized. Then I used pre-OCR software in order to make the text digital that can be editable and machine readable. Then copying text from OCR, and that is optimal character recognition software, to MS Word 2007. So these days it is quite easy. Even generative AI tools can extract text from any digitized page or text. So deletion of unnecessary data like lines, digits, gaps. So then I removed manually cleaned, like removing crops, digits, or other unnecessary details, the text was checked manually for correction purposes. And at the end, text fixer software was used to remove paragraph and line breaks, because when we explore corpus, especially studying lexical bundles, we need to care about spaces because it matters a lot. And the corpus should be cleaned and there should not be unnecessary breaks or spaces. Then pre-online file converter was used for text file conversion. So such file can also be converted through different ways, and also they can also be directly saved in TXT files in MS Word. So this is the composition of the corpus, Pakistani corpus of textbooks. So my corpus has 4 textbooks, and the number of words in total 2,75,981 words. So of course it is a specialized purpose and built for specific purpose to achieve specific research question or achieve research objectives. So that's why specialized corpus can have less number of words than journal corpus. Then software for extracting lexical bundles. So I used AntConc version 3.52 window. And in this software, I used cluster engram option that I will also show at the end of this presentation practically, that how to upload a corpus into this software and how to generate a list of lexical bundles. Maximum and minimum frequency and maximum and minimum range was set on 4. When we see maximum and minimum frequency, it means the bundles will be detected that are above that frequencies. And the range was also set on 4 because I wanted to know that I should explore bundles that occur in all books. They are common across books. So range was also set on 4. So I was exploring forward lexical bundles. So of course the maximum and minimum size was also set on 4. So these measures depends on the study and the data and the purpose. So according to the results, we can also increase, decrease frequency and range until we get significant results. And this is confidence plot. It is the graphical representations of occurrences of lexical bundles within a text and across different text files. It also shows that how bundles are there in all textbooks and how they are dispersed in each text. So this is the plot view of 4 text files, and this is the example of one bundle that is on the other hand, how this bundle is occurring in 4 different text files and how it is dispersed across the text. Then we have selection criteria of lexical bundles. The achieved list was based on frequency and range, minimum frequency 4 and minimum range 4, as we discussed. By applying just cutoff find and trace, still some bundle can be of no use. So we know that when we study something through corpus linguistics, so it is machine reading data. So sometimes some occurrences or sequences can be detected that can generally occur, which cannot be a bundle. So manual filtration was carried out to get the most significant bundles. So some bundles may not have particular structures, or some word sequences that are detected that may not qualify the structural criteria of lexical bundles. So exclusion criteria was applied. Those bundles were excluded which were topic specific or not clear, having no distinctive form and functions. So as I mentioned, so this is machine reading data. So of course, then we have to check the list and we may exclude some of the bundles having no particular structures or have of no significance. Exclusion criteria was also applied by some previous researchers. They have also excluded and filtered their list and excluded some of the bundles uh, having no particular structures. So these were some of the examples like A and B or. So of course they are not bundles. We cannot call them bundles. So these are some of the instances. Some bundles, such bundles were excluded from the list. So this is the journal list from the textbooks that was generated by AntConc software. Then I excluded some of the bundles, and it is the journal list. Later, I will share the details. Now, classifications of lexical bundles. First of all, lexical bundles were classified structurally according to Barber et al. 2004 structural categories. And this theoretical framework was also used as an analytical framework because I placed structures in different categories according to the model devised by Barber et al. 2004. Then the all selected bundle were classified functionally according to Barber et al. 2004 functional taxonomies. So once I classified them structurally, then I checked the concordance lines of each bundle in order to study the cortex to determine the discourse function of lexical bundles. Some structural and functional categories were not present in the data in textbook. So of course, as I mentioned earlier as well, that there can be differences. Same all category may not occur in a particular set of data, and same goes for discourse functions as well. This study also contributed some new structural and functional categories into Barber et al. 2004 structural and functional taxonomy of lexical bundles. So my study also found some new structures that I added to the model that is revised to, and of course, this work is published too. These are the categories which do not occur in the textbooks. So, for example, if you take the example of yes-no question fragments, so of course, these are sense textbooks, and such structures are not occurring, or first or second person pronoun plus dependent clause fragments, or a clause fragment. And these are the functional categories that do not occur in textbooks. So of course, these are special conversation functions, and my data was science textbooks. So that's why these are not there. So these are the structural categories of lexical bundles occurring in textbooks. So I have listed all the categories and with example from the textbooks. I have also added some new categories that were not there in the theoretical framework, like adverb s plus verb, adjective determiner plus preposition of fragment, and pronoun plus verb phrase, and some other expressions. So these were added by my data. So in functional taxonomies of lexical bundles occurring in textbooks, instance expressions, modality, attitudinal stance, ability, some impersonal was there, like can be used for. So these are impersonal. And in discourse organizer, there were bundles like topic introduction, focus, the study of the. In this chapter, we topic elaboration and clarification. For example, on the other hand, this process is called. Then the rest, my study added these like cause and effect, process, procedure, comparison, or descriptions. They were not there in the theoretical framework that I had selected. And in referential expressions, there were bundles performing functions for identification focus, like one of the following is one of the, and then in the referential expression specification of attributes, like quantity specifications, like a large number of, is the amount of, then tangible framing attributes in the form of the size of, intangible framing attributes like the nature of the, in such way. Then there are different references like text, time, place, text reference. Place reference, for example, on the surface of, the bottom of the time reference, the same time, the, at the same time. So these are some of the categories, functional categories related to time, place, and text reference. So these are some of the screenshots that I have taken. So when we study lexical bundles, so we study concordance lines in order to determine the functions of lexical bundles. So as a sample, I have added some screenshot, like this is the screenshot of the bundle at the end of procedure, at the end of reaction, at the end of questions. So see some of text references, some of place references, and so on. So these are some of the examples that I have taken from the textbooks having different lexical bundles. Like on the other hand, these on one hand are essential for human body, but on the other hand, if their concentrations are greater than about 500 ppm, they can make water unfit for drinking, and such water is considered to be polluted. This example is taken from chemistry, and the second example having this bundle is taken from physics. So these are some other examples at the end of from physics and chemistry textbooks, that how they are used and how they perform different discourse functions. So these are some more examples. In similarity and differences in lexical bundles across textbooks, the study did not find any noticeable variations in the use of lexical bundles across textbooks. As I mentioned earlier as well, that it was a science discipline, and physics and chemistry are not too much different from one another. But even then, I wanted no significant differences in the use of lexical bundles were found. Each bundle has been used for similar function across the textbooks, so there is no significant variation in the use. There are slight differences in the frequencies of bundles, of course, that can be because of the size, the word limit in textbooks and corpus size. So there can be slight variation, and they are possible. So these are some of the implications of my study. In English for academic purposes or English for specific purposes instruction, instructors should give preference to teaching words and expression which will help students to deal with various genres of text in their subject areas, because learners are not expert in using the particular expression in particular academic genre. So for example, if we design material that are corpus informed, like I extracted the list from the textbook, so such list can be useful for learners. So beneficial for learners at higher secondary school level, of course, they can use these bundles in order to comprehend different science texts or compose accordingly. This study will also help practitioner writers designing more effective materials for academic writing purposes. Yes, so writers can also use these bundles, and curriculum development, syllabus designing, we can also make part of syllabus. As I mentioned earlier as well, that I have not seen lexical bundles as part of any syllabus. For enhancing learners' writing and reading skills, of course, bundles with structure and function, if they are introduced to the students, they can enhance their writing and reading skills. So speaking, coherence, listening, comprehension. So of course, when we know bundles and their function, we will be able to comprehend any text. And lexical bundles can also be used for designing testing for language proficiency. So Cortes, Jones, and Haywards and Beard and Conk have strongly recommended the utility of lexical bundles as the basis for material design and curriculum development. And the utilization of lexical bundles helps learners to produce accurate stretches of discourse. and the relationship between lexical bundle can be established. So more relative bundles can be generated to add them in the list provided by this research study as is due to the or due to the. So this can be done for the purpose, for pedagogical purposes, in order to have different variations and different possibility or possible forms of any bundles. And this study can help learners in understanding of the subject physics and chemistry. So the study also has methodological implication. The adopted methodology in this study can be adopted by future researchers, like how to construct a corpus, how to clean a corpus, and especially how to construct a corpus from data that is not available in digital or in soft form. This study offers principles for designing specialized corpus, especially from textbooks. So the list of lexical bundles can be utilized by future researchers for multiple purposes, such as for comparisons with other bundles. And this study also provides corpus cleaning process, extractions, and identification of lexical bundles. So the revised, modified structural and functional model of lexical bundles can be used for future studies. So these are some of the recommendations for future research. This study investigated 4 word lexical bundles only. So 3, 5, and 6 common lexical bundles can also be investigated. And data in this study can be used by future researchers in order to explore any other linguistic feature through corpus linguistic methodology. And the results achieved can be used for comparison purposes in order to compare with other discipline, or in order to compare with other genres like research paper and dissertations in physics and chemistry. The size of specialized corpus designed for this study can be made bigger by adding more textbooks. So more data can be added to this corpus and can be used for future studies. And different data can be added from different disciplines, subject areas, subject, for example, biology, history, English, for further investigation. The results in this study can also be compared with lexical bundles occurring in physics and chemistry published research article, thesis, in order to know about the similarity and differences in terms of structures and functions. Finally, an experimental research study can also be conducted in order to know the significant role of these lexical bundles in enhancing student writing, especially academic writing, writing for particular purposes. So in this, we can have experimental study in future by giving exposure to students with lexical bundle, checking their proficiency in writing before and after intervention. And in this way, we can measure the effectiveness of lexical bundles. So these are some more ideas that I have added for those who are interested in exploring lexical bundles or to select topic in such area for dissertation, thesis, or for research paper, like lexical bundle in any text, like newspaper, in textbooks, or lexical bundle in research paper, in research dissertation, lexical bundle in translational variations. When I say translational variations, it means when any text from other language is translated into English by different translators, so we can study their translations in terms of lexical bundles. For example, how much a translation differ from one translation to another in terms of lexical bundles, like frequency, structures, and functions. And lexical bundles in human and ChatGPT or any AI generative tool produce language. So we can also compare that what bundles are produced by humans when they write and what are produced by ChatGPT or other AI tools. This is also an interesting area. It can be researched. So lexical bundle in press releases, in any spoken or written text, bundle in magazines, and bundles in literatures, in novel, or bundle in English in native and non-native speakers and writers. So there are many venues, many areas that can be explored. I just shared some of these ideas. So maybe someone may take idea from this for their research. So these are the references, and thank you. So now I just want to demonstrate that how to upload a corpus in AntConc and how to generate a list of lexical bundles, then that will be in from my side. So let me open the software. This is AntConc software 3.59 window 2020. So first of all, we have to upload the files here. For that, we have to click File, then open Files. So I have keep my corpus here. So these are the 4 files. We have to open it. First, we have to generate the word list to make sure that corpus is uploaded and software is operational. Then we have to select the cluster ngram option. And here we have to check ngram. Then we have to select the size. For example, if I am exploring 4-word lexical bundle, then minimum and maximum size set on 4. And if we study 3-word bundle or 5, 6, then we can increase and decrease. So this is the minimum frequency. So I set it on 4. So it depends on the data set. It can be set on 5, 10, 20, depends on research. And this is the range. So range means the bundle should be detected that should be occurring in 1 text, 2, 3, or 4. So as we know that it is also one of the criteria that a lexical bundle should occur in more than a single text in order to idiosyncrasies or a feature of a particular writer. So once we select this parameter, then we click Start. So in this way, see the list of bundles is generated. So once we change the parameters, so there will be changes in the list. For example, if we increase frequency, so there will be less number of bundle. If we decrease frequency, there will be more number of bundle, and the same goes for range. So since I wanted to know the common bundles in all 4 books, so I set on 4. And then we can set list sort by frequency, by range, and by word. So there are different parameters. So for example, if we set by word, it will be easier for us to classify lexical bundles. So now this is in alphabetical order. It is easy for us to take preposition phrases and noun phrases and other phrases. So it will make the process easier for us. So this is what when we do structural categorization. For functional, for example, when we check discourse functions of lexical bundles, then we have to click any bundles, for example, in the case of, or for example, any bundle we can select. For example, on the other hand, we have to click on that. So this is the concordance lines in the core text. So we can increase the number of words here to show more context in order to get the discourse functions easily. So we can increase the limit. So in this way, then we have to study these concordance lines, the core text, in order to determine the discourse function of lexical bundles. So we can also take screenshots or pictures of such instances and to add in a research as in evidence. So this is how lexical bundles are extracted, categorized, and their discourse functions are shown. So this is all from my side.
Right, thank you so much, Mr. Gulfam. That was a very interesting presentation. I'm sure those who are interested in researching on learners' corpora, right, or academic writing or academic discourse would be particularly interested with lexical bundles. Okay, without further ado, let me just open the floor for any questions. If any of the participants here have any questions, you can type questions or raise your hand. Okay, right. We have Mr. Abdul Hakim again. Yes, please go ahead and ask the question to Mr. Gulfam.
Okay, thank you, Doctor. This is a very interesting research. I really learned a lot from the presentation. My question is, one of the findings says that there is no difference across the 4 textbooks. So I want to ask, don't you think it is because the selected textbooks are from the same area of study? They are all from science, physics, and chemistry. Don't you think if a similar research is conducted using, say, for example, chemistry textbooks against economics textbook or history textbook, there is going to be a kind of variation in the use of the lexical bundles? Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for raising such interesting concerns. Yes, as I also mentioned that the books that I have selected is almost from the same discipline. And we know there can be disciplines, sub-disciplines, inner disciplines, and they are too much related with one another. So I have selected science disciplines, physics textbooks, and chemistry textbooks. So they are interrelated, so they are very much similar. So of course, there can be no significant differences in lexical bundles, especially in the use of lexical bundles, as they share the same further discipline. So as you mentioned, when we see interdisciplinary variations by adding data from other disciplines, as you mentioned, economics, or like art or any other discipline. So of course, then there must be some interesting differences in structural categories of lexical bundles, in discourse functions of lexical bundles, and frequency-wise also there may be some differences. So yeah, I was also familiar with the idea that, and it was also not expected in my study, but even then I wanted to know. But of course, the bundles were common across all the books, but in the use, there were no differences, no significant or noticeable differences in the use of lexical bundles. So by adding other different disciplines from diverse field and adding different data, so such study can be conducted by future researchers. They might come up with interesting differences in this regard.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Gulfam. I hope that answered your question. Okay, right, we have another question in the chat box. Let me try to read it out. The question is from Miss Noli. Okay, the question is, may I know in AntConc, LB such as the world's largest appears as the world's largest without the apostrophe. Okay, hence this bundle falls under 4-word bundle in AntConc instead of 3-word bundle. Okay, may I know how do we fix it? Can we manually move it to 3-word bundle even though the result appears as a 4-word bundle? Did you get that, Mr. Gulfam? Or alternatively, you can head on to the chat box to read it out yourself if I'm not clear.
Okay, I got it. Okay, as I mentioned earlier as well, then that when we study lexical bundles or whatever we study with corpus linguistics, so corpus linguistics just helping us to organize a data, to detect pattern that we human need to decide that what are significant and what to be taken into consideration or what are not to be taken into consideration. So as I showed in my studies as well, that in the list of lexical bundles, so as it is machine readable data and it is software does not know that what is what or what it is doing. So it is something interesting fact about softwares when we study language or language patterns. So some sequences or some bundles can be detected because they fulfill the criteria that they are similar across different tabs, they have certain frequency, but still they will be of no use. So then comes manual filtration, that we apply manual filtration, we examine the list and we check if they have no particular structures and if they are of no use, then we exclude such bundles. So of course, besides softwares, we have to attest and we have to check. So if we find such instances and we exclude them, and in the past, many researchers have used manual filtration. So to safeguard this, manual filtration is significant. And also there can be some strings with different variations of words, and then we have to check, for example, if they are discourse related or they are referring to something, or if they are important and they are making sense, then of course, then we have to consider them and we have to add them in structural and functional categories accordingly.
Okay, thank you for your response. I guess that's quite clear, yeah? Okay, anyone else with another question, perhaps? I think we still have time for another question from the audience.
Assalamualaikum. I do have a question, Mr. Gulfam. I was wondering, when you were running the analysis and categorizing those bundles, were there any bundles that surprised you, like the fact that it appeared in the list or the fact that it didn't appear in the list? Did you have any of those?
Yes. As I mentioned earlier as well, especially in the functional categories, special conversation functions. So of course they cannot be there because my data were from science books, and some other structural as well, because that can be reason that they are textbooks. So textbooks are quite different from spoken language or from other types of discourse. And when we see the prevalence of particular bundles, so preposition phrase expressions are commonly used, and they are more used than any other. And same goes for noun phrases as well. So they are commonly used and used excessively as compared to some other. So these things depends on the data, depends on a kind of discourse that is practiced in that particular data on genre. So yes, these are some of the features which we consider and look at, and in such ways discourses differ from one another.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you.
Okay, I guess it was very helpful. I really appreciate your suggestion, yeah, future directions of future research, talking about other genres that we can consider to further explore lexical bundles. So thank you once again to Mr. Gulfam for the interesting sharing. I guess especially in the academic discourse, LBs very much, it resonates to a lot of people, yeah? And many people are also interested in researching lexical bundles, but perhaps we have this misconception that it's more common in academic writing, but not, or academic discourse, but not necessarily. It's a good point you have there. All right. So once again, I would like to thank Mr. Gulfam and also Dr. Irham. Dr. Irham is still here listening in. Thank you for volunteering, for your time, for your expertise. Mr. Abdul Hakim, you have another question? Maybe the last one?
Yes, sorry, please. I just want to ask the presenter, please. I'm thinking of using abstract of research articles. So from your experience, please, do you think it will be a good data for investigating lexical bundles?
Yes, it will be a very good research study, for example, in research article genre and in that subgenre. If you select the only abstract part, from different research article, for example, 500 or 1000. So you will come up with a list of lexical bundles having structural categories and discourse functions. So also, if you want to make it more interested, you can integrate that into move analysis as well. For example, when we talk about research abstracts, so that follow particular moves, rhetorical moves like overview of the study, rationale of the study, methodology of the study, findings and implications. So if you go for search studies, so you can also make a relationship between lexical bundles and rhetorical move, and that can be an interesting study. Even if you do not include rhetorical moves, the study on bundle itself will be very interesting, and you will have significant findings that will be useful for English for specific purposes, English for academic, and English for specific academic purposes for writing abstracts. So yes, that is a very interesting area, and I recommend it if you are interested in.
I guess one of the doubts, thank you, Mr. Gulfam, but maybe I guess some of the doubts would be in terms of the limitations of the number of words in abstracts. We don't have the freedom to write a lot because sometimes different journals have different requirements, right? In terms of, you know, how much you can write. And so that would perhaps limit. But as you expand the size, like you said, maybe compare against disciplines, and you can, you know, expand the size of the corpus that you are using. Perhaps that could be helpful in terms of identifying the LBs, hopefully, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Before we end, since Dr. Irham is still here, I recall Mr. Abdul Hakim just now requested for Dr. Irham's email address. So if Dr. Irham is willing, he can leave the email address that you wish to be contacted through, and Mr. Abdul Hakim can then reach out. Thank you, Dr. Irham. Okay, so once again, thank you very much. Ms. Raihana has once again shared the attendance. Thank you, Dr. Irham, thank you. Okay, so feel free to fill in the feedback form, and you will get your certificate of attendance, inshallah. Right. Before we end, yes, once again, thank you so much to both our speakers today for sharing your knowledge, sharing your expertise. I'm sure all of us here have learned a lot from your sharing. So before we end, let's have a photo session to commemorate the knowledge sharing session. Everyone is invited to switch on or turn on your cameras and reveal yourselves. Let's give 1 or 2 minutes for everybody to get ready. Maybe if I can get Rai's help to do the screen capturing of all the people who attended today. Anyone else joining us in the photo taking session? Okay, if not, then I guess we can start already. On my count, smile, big smile, everyone. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Okay, maybe another one.
Yes.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and a last one maybe. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right. Okay, that should be it.
All right, wonderful. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We have now reached the end of the webinar. On behalf of MCRN, I would like to express my appreciation to everyone for attending this session. And thank you as well to our speakers once again. We appreciate you. We are very thankful of your willingness to be here with us today. To our participants, if you are interested in becoming a speaker, I'm not so sure if Rai has helped share the expression of interest. Yes, already?
Already.
Okay, thank you so much, Rai. You can click on the expression of interest as speaker for the MCRN webinars. We are more than happy to welcome you. Don't be intimidated in any form. We are all, learning from each other. So feel free to just fill in the form, and we look forward to having you here as a speaker in the next MCRN webinars, inshallah. Okay, so our next webinar will be in 2 months' time, tentatively on February, March, April, right? Right?
Yes.
When? Inshallah. Okay, so we will be on the lookout for the announcement. Be on the lookout for the announcement for the next webinar, inshallah. Okay, thank you once again, and hope to see you in April 2026. Thank you very much. Selamat berbuka puasa. Happy break fasting to those who are fasting, and thank you everybody. Take care and have a wonderful weekend.
Okay, thank you.
Assalamualaikum. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you so much to all participants. Thank you to Mr. Gulfam and also Dr. Irham.
Yeah, thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you so much to Dr. Shamini.
Yes, no problem. Thank you everyone. Assalamualaikum.
Let me stop recording now.